Number 245 of 365 is this Minolta XG1. Requires batteries to operate the functions of the camera. So although you can wind on, you can't release without putting batteries in. So let's put the two LR44 batteries into the camera first of all. So we have the two LR44 batteries with the positive terminal sticking up, but that then goes into the camera. And then we can put the lid onto the battery chamber. Notice there's a tripod mount and the little button that releases the film advance so that we can put our film back into our canister. And then there's also provision to fit a motor wind, which I do have, that can be used on that. I think it's the Power Winder N, if I remember rightly. So we can check our batteries with our battery check, and hopefully the light here where my thumb is will light up. There we go. So that confirms the batteries are good to go. Features the Minolta the manual focus lens, and we release the lens, and then we can take our lens off. That was rather stiff. I think I'll be using the MD Rocker 50mm lens for this particular outing with this camera. And then we have our film advance and our lightning touch button for our shutter, which then releases. Okay, let's just put the lens back on. Okay. So on the top we have our battery check, our on, off and self-timer button. Let's just try that self-timer, shall we? Oops, it's on B, that's why it won't work. Let's put it on automatic. Let's try again. There we go. So it counts down. So when the camera is set to A, it becomes an aperture priority camera. So when we look through the viewfinder, sorry, I had to interrupt that, I had to just check myself. So when you look through the viewfinder, the shutter speed's along the right hand side, and so when it's set to A, when we change our aperture, the camera responds by showing us the shutter speed that will be used for that particular shot. Our shutter speeds go from 1/1000th of a second down to B. Our film speeds are used by lifting the collar and rotating it, and then also around the collar here at the bottom we have exposure compensation, which we can use as well. Our film advance, and a little indicator that we have indeed advanced our film in the little window there, and then our film, our frame counter. A hot shoe for a flash, and also provision for synchronization for flash there, and a cable release is featured on that side. That's pretty much it, I think. So nice, quite a hefty camera, not completely metal, but certainly metal is present there, or plastic with a metal look. But it's quite a substantial camera, I must say. Looking forward to using it. The only drawback, of course, sadly, not of course, but sadly, is that there is a band through the viewfinder. You probably see it there, which will obstruct the view, but obviously won't affect the picture. So that's why I was able to get this so cheaply, because they do come, still seem to hold their price, these XG series cameras. So I was quite grateful for it to come my way, but obviously there is a trade-off there. So that's it. That is camera number 245 of 360.